Bulldogs fans, all things Bulldogs. So I've just getting excited for 2024, and I've got another year to run next year. This is called the Bulldogs 2024 hit list. So I just want to just do a little waiver at the start. Like, I hope everyone who's in the 2023 side does so well that they win a premiership and we re-sign most of those players. But the reality is that, I expect we're going to climb the ladder, to continue to climb the ladder, and to win possibly another 4 to 5 matches throughout the season, which would have us in contention for a top 8 finish. That would be, for me, that is continued relative improvement for the Bulldogs team. So I'm just going to run through. You'll see we'll start with numerous names on the page. So we'll start with Xavier Savage. I've put him down for approximately $550,000. I reckon if you did that on a 2-year deal or something like that. Probably a real long shot, but Gus Gould looked very excited by Xavier. He said welcome as a little tweet earlier in the season, and people thought we were signing him, but he meant welcome to the NRL after a really outstanding play, and that try he scored in the semi-final loss shows he is a player of some ability. Josh Adokar's already signed for 2024, and I'll try and estimate the amount of numbers that are on there as well. We move on to Aaron Schopp. He's already signed for that year as well. And I think with a better spine around him, you'll just continue to see him improve, take more risks, and make more plays. Paul Alamotti, I've put down a re-signing figure of around $400,000 for him, and that's more in hope. I think he may command a bit more than that, and I'm expecting him to get a shot next year and have a breakout season. Jacob Carraz has already signed for 24 and remains on the wing. He can play wing, possibly play centre or fullback as well. Matt Burton to extend and on about $875,000. I hope we can keep him for that. Now here's the big one. The number 7, Mitchell Moses. Now he's currently signed for 2024 with Para, but it's a player option. So he can be talked to from November this year, I think, from what my sources tell me that I'm looking at. And I think 1.1 million for Mitchell Moses would be great. Now, going through this, I've estimated the salary cap for this top 30 squad to come to around $11 million or a little bit over. And I'm expecting that the cap will be worth that much by 2024. Mitchell Moses, by that time, will have over closer to 200 games under his belt. He's still young, and that would be the prime target. Having Marnie in the side, that makes us premiership contenders, bringing Mitchell Moses into the team. Tavita Pangai Jr., I think he's on about 900. I've said earlier that it comes down to 750, but it's showing on a few sources that it's on it stays at 900. I think it's overs for Tavita, but hopefully he is playing that well that he's worth every cent. Reed Marnie is then on 600 grand. Max King signed for that year. I think he's not on a very large contract. Jackson Tapine, who's extended, he comes in and hopefully playing second row by then. His line running's improved, his size has improved, he's getting bigger and stronger, and I just hope he's playing well enough by then. Viliami Kikau comes in, he's on about $875,000. Again, I think that's overs, but if he's got Mitchell Moses, Burton, and Reed Marnie in his side, he's going to be just as effective, if not more effective, than what he is now. Now here's one that I thought would be really good, being the son of, we've got one of his brothers here playing already in the development contract. I'm not sure if he's as good, and I don't mean to disrespect any players that potentially may get signed or whatever, But I think Kobe's showing with experience that he's really good and he's tough. And being the son of a legend, it just fits in with bringing that Bulldogs DNA back to the club, even if it's by blood. On about 375,000, and I see him as a replacement, as a tough replacement and future leader of a pack to replace Josh Jackson, who I think may retire at the end of 23. Bailey Biondioto, stuck very loyal to him. Hopefully he re-signs as a utility. A back, he can play half-back, 5'8". You could put him at full-back, you could put him at hooker. He will do a job. And he has that ability to play what's in front of him. Now, Royce Hunt's up for negotiation as well. So come November, these are all players that we can be in the hunt for. Pardon the pun. I think on about 400 grand, I think he'll be worth it. Raymond Fatala-Marin has re-signed already, so we're getting to the bench now. And Franklin Pele is also one which has been signed on a pretty minimum contract. And I would say that would be a couple of years, which means he'd be in the side. And hopefully is a fan favourite and someone we love. Now here's some others that I thought would join the squad. Dominic Young, potentially swap him out for Ockenbaugh. He plays Jaden Ockenbaugh, hopefully has the greatest season in 23, gets an opportunity and does all the stuff we wanted him to do. But the reality is that fans just don't like him ever since the scandal, and no matter what he does on the field or off the field now to try and rectify it, he's got a lot of, he essentially just has to never make mistakes and do really, really well on the field. If he's going to have another chance with the Dogs again, he could end up going to another club and be an absolute sensation. But Dominic Young, watching this kid play, he plays with the determination that you'd want in a Bulldog. He struggles for every metre, and he's only young to the game, and I think we're going to see him be one of the premier wingers in the game. Can also play centre. Jarrell Skelton, hopefully he's turning into a great NRL first grader by then. Jake Averillo, hopefully they re-sign him as well. So, Jake Averillo, hopefully re-signed. Hopefully he has such a great year in 2023 and starts as fullback, and we don't need to sign Xavier Savage, and we upgrade Averillo on more money. That would be, that's the hopeful. But if not, his utility value is second to none. Half, wing, centre, fullback, 5'8", can play anywhere. Leads us to Credence Toya. Hopefully he's got a contract by then as well. If Averillo doesn't make it next year, hopefully Toya gets an opportunity, and hopefully he is one that's in there as well. So, but Toya also offers great utility value as well. Can play any position in that back line. Josh Stuckey's on a development contract. Hopefully he is signed or re-signed and extended into the top 30 for 24. I think he's got a really good build for football, and a very good player. They've got Bronson Cherry in here, getting his opportunity, and hopefully signs on for pretty cheap and gets an opportunity with our side and can work his way into a first grade footballer again. Andrew Davey will be signed for that year, by the looks of it. He'll be 32 at that time. By 24, he's 30 right now. He was a late starter, made his first grade debut at 28. Plays in the back row. Jacob Preston's another one who will be signed on for 2024 and hopefully pushing for first grade. Ryan Sutton, who they've signed for a couple of years as well, for 23, 24, maybe even 25. He's getting older. I've got him in the top 30 squad, obviously. I hope they re-sign Curtis Moran into a full-time contract. If they don't get Kobe, hopefully Moran is our 5'8" to take over from Jackson. I think he's that good. I've thrown in Blake Laurie, a prop from St George. I think this guy offers a lot of value, and you know, you paid 300 grand for this guy. Really good, tough middle front rower, and be good to have in your top 30. Harrison Edwards looks like a smart player, and he'll probably be starting by 24. I've got this feeling about him, but this is just where I see things at the moment. And in at number 30 is Brandon Clark, the young Toowoomba prospect who played some flag and New South Wales Cup from the hooker position, got 4 tries in the last flag game. Really good prospect as a backup hooker. I've got some others there as well as backups. So these are backups. I really like Braden Trindle. I think he's a halfback that we could sign he's only 23, he's very young. He's a definite first grader. I think the Sharks will try and keep him. But with Moylan taking on another couple of years, you know, and Hines there, Braden Trindle might be one that we could get. Jackson Hastings, he'll be off contract as well. For obvious reason, can control the game. I don't think we'd need to pay as much as what Andrew Johns was saying, 900 grand for Jackson Hastings, no thanks. But you know what, he's a tough player, a good player. If you can't get Mitchell Moses, you'd get one of those players, and that will improve our squad. We just wouldn't have to pay as much. Some others to look at are Hammond Saleh from South Sydney. He hits really, really hard. He'd be one that you could bring into our side under the Dogs of War mentality. He'll be up for renewal in 24. And the big one, Cameron Munster. Well, you could go for Moses and also go for Munster as your fullback and pay them both $1 million. You know, to have a $4 million spine, there's nothing wrong with that. And I've got Ruben Garrick in there as well as a backup, as a potential fullback option, or wing or centre. He can play it all. Anyway, they're my thoughts, guys. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. These are all players available for 2024. We have that much movement. I'd estimate this would come to about 11.5 million. There's talk that the salary cap could go to 12 million for 23. Now, you'll notice a lot of Dogs signings that we've made for next year, for 2023, are still not official. Now, they are official in the fact that they're definitely all priorities in our system. But what they're trying to work out is just how much they can pay some of the youngsters that they've brought into the team, and there's a fair bit based on estimations. So obviously they'd have a heads up on what the cap will officially be, but it still hasn't been made official and probably won't be until after the grand final. So that's my thoughts, guys. Tell me what you think. I think that is a premiership competitive top 30. It would be pushing the limits to get all that. It's well within the spectrum. I think it covers all positions quite well. If you feel that it doesn't, or there's too much in one area and not enough in another, give us your thoughts. Happy to hear it. We're up to 217 subscribers now, which is amazing. Next target's 300. And yeah, thanks for all the support, and talk again soon.